Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and you've tuned in to the right place to up-level in your life and business. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I am your host, Linda Andrews. Happy New Year's, many blessings. I am so excited and happy to be with you right now. And I think this is a very important topic as we are stepping into the new year. Perhaps you've been or you currently are reevaluating any habits and patterns and whether these are empowering or disempowering for you. So what really sparked this episode today is this question: what patterns are we repeating from our parents? So you can ask yourself this: what patterns am I repeating from my parents? And also from other people. It doesn't just have to be your parents. It could be primary caregivers, anyone that you may have had a very specific, intimate relationship growing up. And why is this so important? These lock in, some say from ages 0 to 8. Some will take this further back, even into time in your mother's womb. So this is the heavy lifting. But why is this so important? So much of life, maybe even 90% of life that we are living, is coming from your habits and patterns. And I remember when I first realized this, I was like, oh my gosh, really lived this awareness and started to notice so much of reactions, experiences coming from habits and patterns. And that's really put me on this quest to understand, to unpack. And so I thought, starting the new year, this is a really empowering time to take a look at how you're showing up in your day to day. Notice what of your actions are coming from habits and patterns, actions, behaviors, responses, right? That knee-jerk reaction. And take some time to deconstruct this. You're going to hear some different questions in today's podcast episode that could perhaps be powerful inquiry points. So take the question, maybe do some journaling, take some notes, whatever is feeling a little extra dingy or pingy, maybe where you need to have some work right now. When we do this work, when I do this work, the reminder is to be in observation mode. And this is grace. I want you to really hear this: grace for the depth of the habit or pattern. So these things did not just start today, right? And they're not maybe going to leave today. I believe that it can be that easy and they can leave today, but there's some grace because you could kind of recycle, and it's all a process. This is one of my new mantras lately: is there is no destination. And I find myself in this kind of knee-jerk striving, and in that I'm missing the moment a lot. And I realize I'm exactly where I need to be. That's a very grounding, powerful nowness to help me anchor into the now and make the best, most precise, immediate decision that I need to. Priority is key there, and precise, and move forward from there. So we're also in this special time. And again, you may have already done this, and I've talked about this. I always talk about this, the coaching questions, right? What's working, what's not, and now what? But often when we go into a new year, it's an opportunity to reset some intentions, to plant some new seeds that you may really be desiring, wanting in your life. And so I really urge you, if you haven't already, to take the time to get really intentional about what in your life deserves your energy and intention, and time, energy, and attention, and intention. And what shifts are you going to have to make for that to happen? To successfully add something new in or take something away, usually the opposite needs to happen. So if I'm taking something out of my life, what's replacing that? If I'm adding something in my life, what do I need to do to make room for what I'm adding into my life? So I'm going to give you some personal examples. You can use this and make it your own. I'm prioritizing creativity. So if I'm going to say give an extra half hour or an hour in a day, where am I giving up that time? This is a food example that I share often: is adding in, crowding out, right? I want to add in more vegetables. Well, what am I getting rid of? The nightly cookie dough snack. It's not every night though. Okay. So the adding in, the crowding out. If I'm going to add something in, what am I taking away? If I'm taking something away, what am I going to add in? And this doesn't have to always be this or that. It can sometimes be that you already have the space. You've already made the space. Another great example, those calling in relationships, they may not really have the room for that in their life. So what adjustments are they going to need now? And some people think this is so silly. Well, that person isn't here yet. Well, what if instead of that person coming into your life, which they're not yet, this supposed person, what if you start using this extra time to be intimate with yourself, to have extra time for what you love, dating yourself? There's a beautiful book that I really enjoyed working through years ago called Calling in the One. And it doesn't matter. You can even use this when you're in relationship, just kind of rewire some of the self-worth pieces. It's a lot of the work that I do, but that's a really nice tool. So at Lila Life, we use a tool, the Life Area Assessment. The bag was a nice tool also, but this is any tool that's going to give you a moment to step back, look at the key areas of your life. With my clients, we do this through our alignment calls, which is always like a quarterly call that we do the high level look at, what areas need some time, energy, and attention. So this tool, the way I do it is a self-rating tool. So you list first all the life areas. You can include your business. You can even include facets of your business. I like to do a separate one for my business and include my business on my life area assessment for my life. But you are going to rate 0 to 10 compared to where you want to be, not where society tells you to be, not where you think you should be, where you desire to be. So that's a key first, is to consider what that means to you. And then you rate where you are. And so it's like if you do Peloton, they use the RPE. I think it's like relative perceived exertion. Okay. It's like, I'm running at a level 6. Well, what would a 10 feel like? And your 10 and my 10 are going to look different. But if I'm at a 6 and you're at a 6 compared to your 10, right, we're getting, in theory, the same workout. So taking this to the life area assessment, listing your life areas, self-rating them from 0 to 10 of where you think you are. And then that's compared to what you would determine a 10. Okay. So this is a really nice tool. What does this have to do with anything? As we're looking and deconstructing patterns, this could just be this inspiration, right? I'm here and I want to be here. I'm here and I want to be there, but I'm here now. It's going to take some adjustments for me to get there. Oh yeah, by the way, here is the destination, but where am I tracking? It is all of our innate birthright to be in wholeness. Repeat, it is all of our innate birthright to be in wholeness. So anything that's however many standard deviations away from that, so 100% whole, and anything, I mean, truly anything that takes you out of that feeling of 100% wholeness, could be a lie, could be, I like the word lie because it's like, doesn't really matter where the lie is coming from. It just is what it is. And then it's what brings me back to wholeness. So this could be faulty thinking, belief systems, programs put on you from yourself or others. So this is another inquiry question. What brings me back to whole? As we're looking at these patterns and habits, and we look at the evolution of your life, and you look back, right? We get these mirror moments looking back. There are things in your life that have been there in the hardest of moments that have helped you evolve, help you find your path, help you get off your path to get more on your path, help you realize your path, help you change paths, show you that you hate your path. This is your journey. This is your evolution. And again, looking at what for many, and I say this with so much grace and love, was a very hard year, myself included, maybe hard 2 years. But looking back, it's like, wow, if you hear me say this, if everything is medicine, how have these things helped me to evolve? So another powerful question here is, what do I need to reflect on? Some of these could be those very challenging moments. If there's a certain person that you happen to be really complaining about, if there's a activity that you happen to be really complaining about, what do you need to reflect on? What do you need to change? And then this is this big opportunity of today's episode, what disempowering relationship patterns could be the new seeds for the future. So what does this mean? What disempowering relationship patterns and habits, the way you show up that are disempowering, affecting you in a negative way in your life, but they're giving you access to the transformation that's part of the evolution for your next steps, right? You're bored. You hate the job. You know you have more to give. You want to be a better wife, husband, partner, parent, daughter, whatever. Thinking of your roles and responsibilities and noticing where some of these relationship patterns, these sticky parts, are coming up to be healed, to be transformed, to be a part of your evolution. And this will kind of be like the part 2 to this patterns episode will be the next one is just around how all the why and the how it all happened can be so helpful to understand. And it can also serve as like a debilitating exercise because will you ever fully understand it? And so that's where some of these decisions, commitments to what you want to create can continue to inspire you every day. And then noticing, we can't talk about any of this without fear coming up, noticing where fear can be debilitating you and the very sneaky ways that fear can be debilitating. If you transcend this disempowering relationship pattern, who will you become? What we have access to, what your days feel like. And do you even believe that that's possible? So that's what's important to remember about these subconscious programs is they're so pressed in, we call this in yoga samskaras. There's these grooves, these deep grooves. It's like, that one snow plow route that's just so deep when it's plowing snow, or just digging in that one spot of the hole that just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So there's this opportunity to have that grace that we talked about for how deep it runs and how subtly and sneakily it can be as part of your subconscious. For me, that's where I find the inspiration to transmute it and transcend it and to alchemize it, thank it. And also when you look to where these patterns and habits have come from, we're talking maybe about parents, caregivers, but certainly people that may or may not be in your life still, but there is a maybe deeper understanding, maybe reverence, compassion, even forgiveness that can be accessible to you as you understand this deeper. Because it's part of you and it's part of them. And does the understanding of that allow you to have a more supportive, empowering relationship? Maybe not. But it may open up different healing pieces when you can understand how tightly grooved it is. And then they got those deep grooves somewhere else. It like goes down the family line, generations after generations. With this parental, I'm going to continue to say parents, but I think you get the point that whether it's parent or primary caregiver or core, intimate relationships, usually from childhood, think of that as your caregivers. What did I internalize or not? Or a different way, sorry, let's adjust that. What did I internalize that did or didn't stick? So is this very repressed in you or is it very expressed in you, right? That hyper response when you jump down someone's throat versus like the deep internalizing, you don't have much to say. but this is becoming like this combustion mechanism inside you if you don't have a healthy way to get the energy out, the energy moving. So just being curious, this word internalize could be a powerful key. What am I internalizing? What do I internalize? What have I internalized? The what have I internalized? And then the part that's what that did or didn't stick as a habit or pattern. And then, oh, okay, there's just some space here. I can look at this a little bit without being so attached to it, without being so reactive to it. And I think there's another piece to this, like we all have this, whatever it is, it may express differently. But really, for me, it's like just such a deep, heart opening compassion exercise. Who's running out of habits and patterns? Most people, right? And I would say everyone at some level. Could you be 100% in the moment all the time? Would that be an ascended master? Would that be Jesus? Would that be like a Buddha? So we all have this. And so we all have it, especially in your core relationships, being curious about, it's not to psychoanalyze or be that person's therapist or whatever, coach, but it's to be curious and to understand where they're coming from. And does that allow you a deeper level of intimacy in that relationship? Maybe. Curious. So what would it take to change this? Great journal prompt. So here's XYZ habit and pattern. What would it take to change this? Free write, boom. So it's going to be literally what's the habit or pattern? And then what would it take to change this? Maybe do one at a time. Maybe do one a day. These are disempowering habits and patterns. What would it take to change this? If I change this, question number 2, what could be possible? This could is so important because, and even beyond this question, what could be possible? It may feel like nothing. You may feel so locked into some of these habits and patterns, it may feel delusional to even be curious about what else could be possible. But this is where there's some attachment things going on. This is where, and following maybe some of Lacey Phillips' work, she uses the term expander, someone in your life that shows you what could be possible. Is it someone that has aspects of a relationship that you desire? Is it it's just showing you, it's showing the mind that what you've known through habits and patterns and conditioning pressed into your subconscious as all that there is, that there's more, and there's actually infinity. So when I say what could be possible to this specific aspect that was part of that journal prompt of what would it take to change this, naming whatever it is that you're changing, what could be possible, go crazy, have fun, imagine. And this is that wholeness piece, that I am whole. So anything that's telling you this could never be possible is perhaps the lie taking you out of that wholeness, that anything is possible because that's your birthright. Side note about trauma, right? Side note about environment. Things can be tough. Circumstances could be hard. But I would just ask you to consider it. Does it feel like that because you're in a flight or fight or even freeze response? And that maybe your heart and soul is yearning for more and does know that it's possible. I'm not asking you to neglect whatever those things are. I am asking you to start to create some space. And first, that can just be in your mind. It could just be by asking yourself these questions. What would it take to change this? What could be possible? This type of work, the journaling, the inquiry, it starts to create some space. So when you're in the habit or pattern of expression, you're able to be a bit more in observer mode and look at it, stop. So it's not unconscious anymore. Now it's conscious. And that's where the change can take place. But if you don't even know what's happening, this whole episode, you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Right? Start to just pay attention and notice more. Okay. Big distinction, and I heard this in a workshop that I was listening to last week through Rama with Hudmanjut, and she's saying, I want to stop this versus what could be possible. I want to stop this. So you're thinking like, oh, I'm doing this thing again. And that's how I like to literally refer to it. Oh, I'm doing that thing again. Oh, I'm doing that thing again. It just lightens it up. It allows you to be more an observer. And then when you're in that awareness point, shifting into what could be possible. So for instance, which one do I want to use? I want to stop this. This is like a kind of weird one, but a fine one I'm happy to share. I woke up this morning with a little tummy ache. I literally had like a half a glass of wine. It was this sulfite-free, just beautiful organic wine that I was gifted for Christmas. But I woke up and I had a little stomach ache, and I'm like, fuck, like, I don't want to feel like this ever again. And I'm not a big drinker. I had my own experience with drinking that led me to that point. And I was like, literally this morning, I'm like, no, like, I'm done. I say that, and then I will like be like, but this wine will be fine. So like what could be possible? Could be possible that I am not drinking wine, that I love my little hop tea, or if I want to add some alcohol, I can have my little whatever, it's tequila or mezcal of choice. But I'm just not doing this anymore. And what could be possible? So what could be possible is that I feel great, that I'm not feeling the effects of the wine, that I can have a mixed drink that I make. So use your own example here. I want to stop this. Maybe it's someone that you fight with regularly. It's like, God, we're having that same fight again. Oh my God. Or same disagreement or same whatever resistance moment. Well, what could be possible? And you'll notice that inspiration, the new commitment, the decision, the action, that's what then bubbles up. And that's why this is so important. Another powerful question that I just want to put out there, especially as we're harvesting this new year energy, is where in my life can I trust more? I had an episode a couple weeks ago about self-trust. You can go check out if you haven't listened to. And under this is who is trying to help. And if you experience trauma or, excuse me, you experience trauma, if you find sometimes having trouble trusting, it's starting with that self-trust. And then who can I trust more? Who's trying to help? It's like, as you're making decisions, as you're navigating each new step in your life, your business, can that be the automatic response? And I think it's like we have 60,000 thoughts, however many of them are negative, 90%, probably more. So you really got to be on your A game with this stuff, because the other stuff, the shit is coming. So I would love to know whether you want to drop it in the comments. You can email me at linda@lilalife. Are there any commitments that you have? Are there any aha moments? Feel free to tag us in the social. But what of this is feeling really resonant? And when you're gracefully unpacking the habits and patterns that make, I don't want to say that make, but that are a part of your infinite being, and are part of your daily experience, what are you looking to shift in the new year? What have you, and then the other side of this, and I would love to know too, what have you already transcended? What have you already worked through? And how has that been a positive shift in your life? And so using that as evidence of, I've already done it. I can do it with this. So many, many blessings. We have a great lineup coming through the new year, and I'm just so excited. So we're going to be shifting into this format where you have an episode where I'm teaching some of the different coaching and integration tools and topics that I like to use with my clients in my daily practice. And then the other episode alternating will be interviews from different thought leaders in a myriad of different industries, focus areas. And this is all in a supportive effort to help you uplevel your consciousness and integrate that into your life and business every day. As I've mentioned many times, we have the Lila Life Collective. If you're not already a member, it's being completely restructured in the new year, and you can add on one-on-one coaching if that feels supportive to you, or you can just stay as a content receiver at that lower tier to be able to access the updated teachings that'll be coming through each month, as well as our partner discounts. So this is curated by me and my team, and these partnership opportunities that reflect living at this conscious experience of life. And, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you if you are finding yourself in deep moments, dark moments, which could be very possible. I found myself there a couple times too. But I also get these beautiful glimpses of what's unfolding here. And every single person, you are a part of what's unfolding here in your life, in the collective life expression. And just notice your little nudges, what's percolating, what's wanting you to hear, right? A friend of mine would say, God whispers. I don't think she made this up. God whispers, God talks, God yells. Universe listens, universe talks, universe yells. So what's coming up for you to adjust, and how does this connect to the different patterns and habits that have affected you in your life? Blessings, much love, and I will see you next week on the Lila Life Show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Lila Life Show. Be sure to share, like, and comment. Tune in next week. And if you're not already a member of the Lila Life Collective, you'll want to be. So take a look in the show notes and be sure you sign up today. Have a beautiful day.